This is Sports Federation TV. If you just tuned in, you missed the first segment where we chatted about bridge. You can catch it on YouTube, or you can catch it tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock on DSTV 263. This show is brought to you in conjunction with the Western Cape Sport Confederation, where we talk a whole range of sport. And we're moving to something that most of us never even heard of. We're talking transplant sport. And transplant sport is very interesting. Herman, Steyn, are you well?
Very well, and you, Elton?
Good, good.
That's
Dick,
good.
Kruger, all good?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Herman, it's a unique opportunity for people who have some kind of situation to participate in transplant sport. Tell us a bit about it.
Elton, yes. Look, our vision is we want to be a leader in optimizing the quality of life that transplant recipients, that's solid organ transplant recipients, have, and we use sport to do that, to their participation in sport and other activities to promote transplantation and also organ donation, which is an important part of our federation.
So how does one become a member of your federation? Let's start there.
Unfortunately, you can't enter from the street. We can't get our members from the street. You have to have had a solid organ or a life-saving organ transplant, which is heart, liver, kidneys, lungs, bone marrow, and also pancreas. You had to have one of those transplants to become a member. That is full members, and they can also compete at the national games and also at the World Transplant Games. We also have affiliate members who are supporters, medical people, anybody from any federation can support our goals, which is mainly organ donation and transplantation.
One of the interesting things that I found out about your code of sport is there's no drug testing.
No.
Why would that be?
Because all of us take steroids every day, but not to enhance our performance. We are exempted by the International Athletics Federation or Olympic Federation when we compete in our own games. But a lot of our athletes also compete in normal sport. I compete in masters athletics. If you are in for world records and things like that, you have to have a therapeutic use exemption, which we get for exemption from the steroids that we take every day.
And that TUE is a very important documentation that most people don't even know about.
Yes, that's right.
Yep.
Yes.
Dick, what's your involvement in all of this?
I'm the treasurer for the Western Cape Transplant Sports Association, and I look after the money and the money that
Very
matters.
important person. Very important person.
That's right. That's my involvement from the admin side. I'm also a team member playing golf for the Western Cape team.
And how strong is our Western Cape golf team?
We've got quite a few golfers, good golfers as well. I think one of our golfers, JP, I think is a +3 handicap. So yes, very competitive bunch of guys. We brought some medals back home from Argentina with our last World Games. So yes, we're quite competitive.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Herman, last year you hosted a magnificent games. Tell us a bit about it. Let's look at the medal table and take us through some of the results.
Okay, that was the World Transplant Games, which was held in Mar del Plata in Argentina in August, beginning of September last year. Just an important thing that I would like to point out there. If you look at the medal table, South Africa is 3rd out of 44 countries. That only shows the first 14 countries. But if you look at the figures next to the countries, if you look at South Africa, we have a population of 50 million. We only have an average of 335 transplants a year, which is solid organ. We have about 500. We have 4,300 people on the waiting list.
335 operations that happen per year.
Transplants per year.
Wow.
If you look at Great Britain, they have a population of 64 million. They had 4,800 transplants. Argentina, 42 million population, 2,000 transplants a year. Hungary, 10 million and 400 transplants, more than us.
Yep.
United States, 28,000 transplants, population of 318. So we do quite well if you look at that table.
Yep. And that's an interesting statistic in the sense that we have so many car deaths, and yet there are so many organs that can be harvested I don't know if that's the correct terminology,
You're right.
to be harvested for people sitting on the waiting list. There's all kinds of, I mean, what's the statistic? One person saves 27 lives or something?
7 lives,
Seven
solid
lives.
organs, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we have more road deaths, accidents, motor car accidents where people die than Great Britain.
Yep.
So we've got 4,300 people on the waiting list for all types of organs, and we only have 500 plus. That includes corneas, which is not
Yes.
a life-saving one.
Definitely.
But only 335.
Wow.
We have 1.7 donors per million population. That's all.
Sure. Let's take a look at some of the footage and see what transplant donation is all about.
The need for an urgent or life-saving transplant knows no boundaries. It affects people regardless of their gender, age, religion, or ethnicity. Our federation promotes ethical organ donation and transplantation and supports living and deceased organ donation for transplantation by consenting persons and their families. Established in 1987, the World Transplant Games Federation is a worldwide organization with representation from more than 60 countries that celebrates successful transplantation and the gift of life through unique and inspiring events, namely the Summer and Winter World Transplant Games. Our principal aim is to raise public awareness of the importance and benefits of organ donation by demonstrating the health and fitness that can be achieved post-transplant. We aim to educate the public on the principles of organ donation and to highlight the worldwide shortage of donor organs. We are recognized by the International Olympic Committee and actively promote the benefits of sport at all levels and fair play for transplant recipients. A hosting country is carefully selected for each Games, and their local organising committee works closely with the Federation to ensure a successful Games. Since their establishment by UK transplant surgeon Maurice Slapak in 1978, the World Transplant Games have become the largest global event for transplant recipients and their families. The Summer Games are held every 2 years. The event showcases the success of organ donation and transplantation through a wide variety of sports. The Winter Games are held in the intervening years and include the Nicholas Cup, a special event for transplant recipient children aged from 4 to 17 years old. At the World Transplant Games, whilst competition is intense, everybody is a winner, whether they are first or last across the finish line. Every athlete has a unique story. Our athletes are our ambassadors for organ donation and transplantation and give hope to people on transplant waiting lists. The World Transplant Games give recipients the motivation to strive towards full rehabilitation through exercise, camaraderie, and healthy living. They also provide them with a way of saying thank you to those who made it all possible: the donors, their families, health professionals, researchers, and carers. Without them, there would be nobody on the starting line. Welcome to the World Transplant Games Federation, powered by the gift of life.
Powered by the gift of life. We're talking transplant sport. We're talking about how people's lives change as a result of life-threatening organ donation. Herman, that was a very touching clip which talks about people donating their organs to save someone else's life. I mean, as we said earlier, one person can save a minimum of 7 people's lives. That's besides donating blood every 6 to 8 weeks. How big is your membership base in South Africa and in the Western Cape?
We only have 444 members in South Africa. In the Western Cape, we have 120 members. Now, most of the people who's had transplants, they go and live in the cities where they have transplants, because transplants can't happen anywhere.
Yeah.
It only happens in certain cities. For instance, hearts it's only in Cape Town, Johannesburg, and Durban. So we have 120 members in the Western Cape. Now, from ages of 5 up to 70. And we also compete in age groups. Juniors up to 18 years, 17 years is 5 to 7, 7 to 9, 9 to 11, etc., 15 to 17. And then seniors, 18 to 29. And then in 10-year groups of 30 to 39, 40 to 49, etc.
Dick, does golf work the same, or is it based on handicap that you play together? How does golf work?
It's exactly the same. We also compete in age groups. Myself is in the group age of 62, 69.
You don't look at it all.
Come on. Then also the handicap does come into play. We play from an official handicap. You have to have an official handicap to compete, which is very strictly, annually, that we test the people and see that they are in those handicaps,
yes.
and they check on the system as well that you are. We also have to, you have to be a member of a club to compete golf-wise as well.
Yeah. Tell us a bit about some of your fundraising initiatives. I mean, you're the treasurer. Tell us how much money you have in your kitty. How big is your the cost to host an event, as an example?
Financially, we're quite well off. We do depend so much on fundraising. For instance, we're having a golf day now on the 13th of May, and we would like to invite everybody that's available to come in our golf day at Pearl Valley. We were happy to secure Pearl Valley as a venue.
That's a very nice course.
It's a very nice course, also very difficult.
Yes.
But nice.
Make sure you have lots of balls when you go there.
Oh, yes.
If your handicap is golf.
Oh, handicap is golf, yes, yes.
So, I mean, that's one initiative. What else do you guys do for fundraising?
From a social point of view, there are sales. We have, fundraising events like we go to concerts and that sort of thing, buy tickets at a certain price,
yes.
and then sell them again at a certain price to raise money.
Yes. Herman, in terms of a general aspect of sport, we know that sport changes people's lives, and in your case, it helps people stay alive and rehabilitate them.
That's right.
People obviously participate in club level sport, as you said earlier,
yes.
to help them hone their skills. And I'm sure there are a few success stories within Western Cape that you can tell us at least one.
Well, like you say, we all compete at a club level. We don't have our own clubs, so members belong to clubs in the different codes of sports in a province. I belong to the Western Province Athletics. I'm a master. I also compete in the master athletics. I recently completed one of our athletes, Sakkie van der Westhuizen. He had a gold medal at the Western Province Provincial.
Wow.
Now we compete against normal athletes and not only transplant athletes. I also
normal
had
in the sense that they haven't had a transplant.
that they haven't had a transplant. Yeah. And I had 2 silver medals at the Western Province Championship.
Nice.
And we've got quite a few good swimmers. 3 of our athletes went to the nationals in Durban, and the one athlete, she was also one of the runners-up in the Western Province Sports Awards last year, which was held in Somerset West. She had 4 world records at the last Transplant Games. She also went to Durban to compete in the National Masters. And yes, we have quite a few of our athletes competing on that level.
And having a transplant, an organ transplant, doesn't make you any different to anybody else.
No.
And
no.
I think that's the message we're trying to get across. That
yes.
Even though you have an organ transplant, look at you. You are normal beings with feelings who participate in sport to enjoy life still, and that's the key.
You are so right, Elton. Yes, we are normal. A lot of people think we're disabled. We used to be disabled, but now we're able.
Yep.
But like we said earlier, we have to take medication every day to keep us like this. We have lots of ups and downs, which makes training not so
yep.
easy. But we live a normal life. People the disabled authorities see us as not being disabled, but having a long-term illness where we have to take medication every day.
Definitely. Dick, what's next for you?
Looking forward to the National Games in October,
Mm-hmm.
which will be happening on the 6th to the 9th of October. Looking forward to that.
Where will that be?
That'll be in Gauteng.
Okay.
And also then looking forward to Spain next year in Malaga for the World Transplant Games, which happens in August, I
In
think.
June.
In
June next year.
In June.
Okay.
Yeah. So the national games, like Dick said, which is held in October in Johannesburg, that is the first step of the qualification process which our athletes have to undergo.
Okay.
They have to have re-qualifications. We take their normal club sports into consideration before we select a team next year in January to go to Malaga, Spain in June.
And once you've qualified, you're then entitled to go if you have the funding to get you there as the next step, which is where Dick comes in.
Yeah,
Where the funding
we
comes.
must thank the Department of Sports on a national level, Sports and Recreation South Africa, and on a local level, provincial level, we are very thankful for the Western Cape Department of Cultural Affairs and Sport, which also gives us a big portion, but we still have to do fundraising like Dick said.
Yep.
But yes, thank you to the Departments of Sport.
How do people get in contact with you if they want to either become an organ donor or assist as a member, or not as a full member,
Yeah.
obviously, because they're not they haven't received a life-threatening organ donation, but to assist your organization?
They can go onto our website, which is transplantsports.org.za. All the contact information is on there. Dick said something about the fundraising event, the golf that we have at Pearl Valley.
Yes.
They can contact any of the contact people on the website if they would like to enter that as well, or even if they want to sponsor a role or whatever. So like I just want to say again, transplantsports.org.za.
Dick, thank you for your time.
Thank
Good
you,
luck
Elton.
with the golf and the golf day.
Thank you.
Herman, was good to see you.
Elton,
All the
thank you
best.
very much. It was good to see you as well.
Good.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
You're welcome. Remember, one person's life saves 7. Register at theorgandonor.org.za and commit yourself to donating your organs and your skin and everything else. When you die, you can't take it with you. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll chat Cape Town Sports Council. See you now.